So hey there, you're probably wondering why I'm doing this tutorial, but then the thing is that I'm really the worst person to be doing hair. So if you're somebody who is like a super dummy when it comes to hair, and if you have a hair type similar to mine, this is a tutorial on how you can tame that hair. So fast forwarding to a couple of years, I feel like I finally found the perfect straightener for me, and you have no idea how much I love this straightener because it's been with me for almost like 2 years, and almost every month I'm straightening my hair at least like 2 times. So there's a crazy amount of usage of it, and it works absolutely stunning. I used it for my wedding, I used it for all of my wedding events and everything, and it's just absolutely the most stunning straightener. So today we're going to be talking about the Ikonic Professional Pro Titanium Shine Straightener. That's the name. This is like a professionally used one, and I didn't even know that they actually make ones like this. Like the only straighteners which I thought existed were like the Philips ones, and those I was anyways like trying it throughout like college, and it would never really work on me. So if you're already a pro at straightening, I don't think this is the right video for you. But if you're a beginner and if you have no idea how a straightener works, this is going to be something which is like going to help you to get onto that entire journey. So the first thing is to wash your hair and condition your hair. Use any conditioner which is gonna like deeply condition your hair. Otherwise, even after straightening, your hair is gonna ultimately look a lot more like bushy and frizzy and everything. So conditioning is key. And then you can add in a leave-in conditioner. Make sure that after you add in the leave-in conditioner, you're going to wait until your hair dries completely like mine, and then you can go ahead with straightening your hair. I do use a non-silicone conditioner because I don't like the way the silicone feels on my hair after I straighten it. It kind of feels like there is a thin layer on top of my hair, and I don't like that texture. It has a lot of like temperature settings, which is something I find extremely helpful compared to all the other drugstore like normal, like the easily available straighteners which I've tried before. So they start from 130 and they go all the way up to 230. So for somebody who has like very very thin hair, I'd say 130. Like my friend once, when she tried, like she had to use it at 130 because her hair would like burn at the temperature which I tend to use. So I mostly use it at 190 or 210 depending on how straight I want. If I want like a kind of like straight bouncy finish, I'll go with 190, and I want pin straight, I'll go with 210. If you look at the straightener, it has titanium plates. It's quite thin, so even if you know how to do those curls, which I don't know how to do, but then if you know how to make curls with a straightener, I think this should work even for that. I will be linking the straightener down below so that you can see and you can like get the same one. So what I would start by doing is to part my hair in the middle and divide that into like two even sides. So after I've taken a section, I'm going to be using a little bit of the heat protection spray. I use the Bare Anatomy Expert Heat Protection Spray. This works up to 230 degrees, which is one reason why I like it. Plus, it's not oily. It's more like a creamy kind of texture. It does come with a spray thing, but then for like an even application, I like taking it on my fingers and applying it. I go a little more heavier towards the end because it also helps with the frizz, and I feel like that is super helpful with this straightener. Now, once your straightener is hot, it shows as like a constant light, otherwise it would be blinking. So you start close to your root and then you hold the tip and then you pull it all the way out. And before it gets cool, you want to take your brush and go through it at least 1 to 2 times. I feel like what this does is so much more important than the straightener. The straightener just gives you the heat, and the comb is where, it kind of sits in place. Now I'm going to jump into another section. If you're wondering how I'm taking the sections, I'm just using my finger. I really can't do with the comb and everything like that because I'm really terrible at it. So I just use my finger and I try taking like a really thin layer, and I put the straightened hair back. So I'm not touching my root because that would actually burn. So I'm going really close to my root. And I've personally felt like that helps because it gives you the volume. So it's open and we just have to like squeeze it and it just closes by itself. So we're gonna hold it and then I'm pulling it all the way to the bottom. That's about it. Brush, comb it through. Going again from the top all the way to the bottom, slightly turning the straightener and brush through again. So this is how it looks with one side done. And if you see, approximately it took me around 10 minutes. I'm going to quickly go and finish this side and we'll be right back. Okay, so that's about how the hair looks once it's straightened. Damn nice. You'll even see that the ends are looking really nice because I kind of turned it. So it looks a lot more kind of like real types. But then if you feel like the frizz and everything is gone from the hair, but then if you feel like your ends are looking a little dull, what you could do is that I use a little bit of jojoba oil. No serum works on my hair, to be honest. Like all that normal anti-frizz serums, they don't do anything. So I use this one. This is from Wish Care and this is just 100% jojoba oil. I take like the most tiniest pinch of it and I use it on the ends of my hair. And trust me, this will not make your hair look oily because if your hair is as dry as mine, it will just absorb everything in and it will give you this nice glowy kind of a look and your ends won't looking, it won't look really dry. So it looks a lot more kind of lively. If you still feel there's a little bit of frizz left, you can just use your hand, pick a little more of the oil, like the jojoba oil, but don't do it like in too much, just the most tiniest amount in the middle of my fingers. I just took like a drop on my finger basically, and you can just run it all over your hair and you'll get that little bit of like a glossy looking kind of a finish. And through the week, if you feel like your tips are getting a lot more dry, go ahead with a little bit of jojoba oil whenever you kind of feel it getting dry and it will stay throughout the day. So that is literally how I straighten my hair and I hope that this video was helpful for you, especially if you're a beginner. Please do try these tips out, especially when you're straightening for the first time and you're really scared about like, how to do it and you're really scared about frying your hair. I hope this helps and use a heat protectant. It does make a difference when you're, straightening instead of directly going in with your hair and it's going to protect your hair like in the longer run. So that's about it with the entire routine and I'll leave all the product names and the links for you down in the description bar along with the hair straightener. So I hope you found this tiny review and tutorial helpful. So give me a big thumbs up if you did and stay tuned for more. Until next time, bye-bye.